How not to get burned on your first guitar purchase.
Ouch.
Hey, thanks for joining us. It's Baxter.
And Jonathan.
We're back. Coming at you hard and fast one more time. I don't know why I say that.
Faster, harder, faster.
I need help. So you're buying your first guitar. It's
Or
confusing. Or your first one in a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like this is something like we were coming with these ideas and we're like, man, these are things that happens to us all. But it's really in particular when you're getting into your first guitar, there's information overload out there.
Yes.
There's so much information, and every YouTuber, these guys included, seem to have their 2 cents they throw out there. And sometimes we're just wrong.
What?
Sometimes it's just our opinion. Sometimes that ain't the gospel. It's okay. But we want to give you some tips on how to get through it a little bit. So one of the first things we get asked a lot when people come in the shop in person is funny. It's like, where's y'all's used guitars?
You got any used guitars? No, I mean, all the time.
Every day. All day.
It's a tricky question to answer sometimes.
And you and I both talked about most of our used guitars happen to be vintage.
Or just higher end, you know what I mean? Like, because, we might have a used Martin D35. But it's probably not what you're going to spend on your first guitar.
You will be shocked at the value and the quality of some of the low-end affordable guitars. I didn't even call them low-end because some of my favorite guitars, like Classic Vibe Squire, I don't consider that low-end by any stretch. I just consider it a great affordable. Some of the new, they're not called Bullet anymore, but the new, whatever the new Squires.
The new Squire stuff, yeah.
I can't remember the Squire. I have to look up on my sheets. I have to do research on that. Those are really good guitars.
Yeah.
There's some great sort of what's affordable now. Even like the Yamaha stuff, great bang for your buck.
Alvarez,
great bang for your buck.
The Fender, the acoustic side of things, the Fender CD60, man,
all day, every day.
And you get a friggin' hard shell case. I still cannot figure out how that squares.
You know how many kittens you can put in that hard shell case?
I'm gonna say more than 10.
A gaggle. That's like a dozen geese, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a grouping of geese. Okay, so don't feel like you have to get used first. You can get sometimes I think when you're buying a low end affordable first guitar, get a new guitar.
Yes.
It's not gonna be all broken. It's gonna work. It's gonna have a warranty with it. If it doesn't work, it's got a warranty with it.
But I mean, I think sometimes, and this is especially true when it's parents buying for their kids. We say this exact thing, and I think they think we're trying to get them. Oh, they don't want to sell us their great used stuff. They want to make money on that new stuff. No, that's not true. And you can go buy used stuff, and this happens a lot too. Those parents will walk out and they get onto the pawn shop. Nothing wrong with buying stuff from the pawn shop.
Pawn shop and Amazon.
But I mean, the guy at the pawn shop may or may not know anything about guitars. Maybe the strings are that far from the fretboard, and you or your kid is never going to learn.
You sunk that kid before he starts.
That's right. You hamstrung him. You have to really love it.
The pawn shop Amazon sort of syndrome can be extremely dangerous for your health as a guitar player. You got to be really careful.
Now, if you know what you're looking for, that's different, right? I love going to pawn shops and looking for stuff.
No, we still do, but again, it's not usually for the entry level stuff.
Right.
It's kind of that. God, Dirk just got a great Clapton one, the limited.
That was
90s for nothing.
Ridiculous. The green one.
Great, with
the green one,
the little boost in it and everything. Yeah. Lace sensors. Maple neck.
I'm ashamed to even say what he paid. It was
nothing.
It's like he
stole
sell
it. Yeah.
It's like he ran in and grabbed it off the wall and just ran out.
See, here's my hundreds of dollars.
Good Lord.
Or maybe thousands. I can't remember at this point. I don't even know. But so some of the first things you want to look at when you go into a guitar shop and you're looking at guitars, things that shouldn't freak you out about guitar too, the strings.
Yeah.
Is sometimes some shops don't maintain their strings very well. Don't let that be the entire turn off to the guitar. If you're at a shop that's decent, you're seriously considering this guitar, really considering it, you can talk to them and they would not mind throwing a set of strings on there for you. Just so you try it. Yeah. We do it We're really good about keeping our string maintenance, but it's hard to do when you got a shop where there's 1,000 guitars on the wall.
It is. Well, it's hard. I mean, we get behind. We try to pay attention. And I like to think that if we're helping somebody buy a brand new guitar and the strings are like sandpaper, we're like, hey, let us throw strings in there for you.
Yeah, we're not going to hand it to you.
No.
Unless if we do, it's going to come with a note. Number two, Jonathan already mentioned the action on those strings. that's something that's vital to have looked at.
Yes.
And if you're buying one from the pawn shop or Amazon, you don't get a chance to look at it. A reputable guitar shop is hopefully going to set it up for you.
In theory,
Even like a beginner guitar, like I've taken a truss wrench to a CD60 by Fender and just gotten it right where I liked it.
But most of those are great. Most of those are great without doing anything to them. You know what I mean? They're ready to go.
It's pretty amazing how that looks. The looks of a guitar are often the main.
The blinding lights.
It is.
Oh, this is so pretty.
This is the best guitar. I want this one. It sounds so good. Just be careful not to get tricked by the flashing lights of the oncoming headlights.
I will say this. I'm not disagreeing. I agree wholeheartedly. I am an advocate of buying the thing that you think is pretty because if you're starting, it makes you want to play, right?
That's the jump into.
But there are things that are just pretty and they suck otherwise. So, you want to get something that you think looks great, but also plays. I mean, we live in this great golden age where there's both exist together.
Because there's some brands that just, like, we don't carry any of these because we're very, we're very careful about what we carry because we want to love everything we carry. There's certain brands that are just pretty guitars, and they really, I would say, suck. I wouldn't get those.
Right.
And I'm not going to say their names, so I don't like to disparage on that necessarily. Just call me. I'll tell you on the telephone privately.
In privet.
No, but what Jonathan said is true, though. Like, if you're not inspired to pick it up and play it, you're not going to do it. So get one that you do think is cool. Otherwise, we'd all have, just one color guitar, and that's it.
And these play the best. Yeah. I mean, I will say this. This is going to that same thing, and I a lot of this I see through. Like I said, I teach a lot, so and Baxter has too. I see it with parents. Like, if you want to play guitar and you want to play electric guitar, don't make yourself learn acoustic first. Just buy an electric guitar.
Play electric.
Play what makes you happy
and
because
pivot
you'll
over
stick
to
with
acoustic or classical or
because you will
slack key, whatever you want to do later.
Now, by all means, if you want to start with acoustic guitar and that's what you love, do that. But do the thing that you enjoy. Don't set these weird boundaries for yourself because chances are you'll quit.
Look for any major structural cracks or issues there, particularly on acoustic. If you have some, they usually don't get better with age.
What are you saying? They don't heal?
No, these wrinkles that I get, the older I get, they get worse. And so the cracks on your guitar. That'd be cool if they did heal. I did have one guitar that sort of was a dead guitar, then it got a crack and it opened it up. It's really weird. It just I literally opened it up. I can put my fist through it now. But
it sounds
totally,
great.
it sounds better.
It is funny. Like, I don't think people who, when you're brand new, you don't realize how much tension and pressure are on these guitars from these crazy strings and the wood and the strings and the steel. It is a lot. So yeah, that's a big deal.
It's more tension and pressure on the guitar string than Great White Shark and a Panther combined chomping down on you. If the strings break, your arms and fingers probably will rip off.
You probably die, yeah.
You'll be a bit. That's what people think when they're playing guitar.
People ask me that. Like, what if the string breaks? Does it hurt you?
I said yes to someone the other day because they were just being irritated. So,
right.
It's just, so I was tuning the guitar. It's like, it breaks, it's going to hurt my fingers. I'm like, 100%. Be very careful.
It's a risk we all take for the love of the instrument.
For the love of smoke on the water. You just got to keep going. No, but even with electric guitars too, look for not strugs, but there's some serious neck pocket issues or something. Or you can usually fix that, but sometimes not. Just
what's a neck pocket? Just look for cracks and things that are twisted that you think should not be twisted. That's all. Just most of it's common sense.
And one of the final things too is it's often overlooked in the game. And I'm not a huge proponent of it, but apparently this is really useful. Get a guitar set up. Get your guitar set up. And that can now I've loved watching Sean do this with some of our guitars. Ones that really play stiff. It was one of mine. It's guys play crappy. Then he just took it, worked on the saddles for a minute. That was it. It was then it was playing loose and saggy.
He's gotten good at that. He's gotten good at it.
He knows how to make a guitar play well.
Weird, right?
He might be funny and bonking.
It's funny. I mean, obviously, most of this we've talked about if you're buying your first guitar, if you're new to the guitar. But this, I think, is across the board. The older I've gotten, the more I've played, the more I've realized there's so many guitars that I thought sucked and were bad that just needed little things. And I can look back in my life and God, I wish I'd have kept that guitar. It didn't suck.
There's buzzes on this fret or something that could have been easily remedied. and probably just a quick little
Or
tweak.
does it, even
Or does it really matter?
or there's guitars now I'd keep and like mess around with. Like I've probably said this about vintage guitars before. This guitar sucks, or like I just got that 78 refretted. The
Oh yeah.
and it's amazing. That's all I've been
amazing
playing.
guitar.
I would have said before, man, this guitar, I don't know, doesn't feel great. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if it's great. It's amazing. It just
I know
works.
you're putting up way too many videos with it on your channel.
I have, that's
I'm sick of watching it on Instagram.
It's fine.
It always pops up in my feed. Now that I've liked it and commented on you a few times, you're all.
We'll
over
give
my-
you this. Here's
Here's Jonathan up in my face again. Yes, if you haven't checked it, he has a good
bastard.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's fine. If you want to watch him noodling around on
all
vintage
this.
Telecasters
That's all it is.
in his she shed
Noodles.
with my favorite Jimi Hendrix poster.
Mediocre noodles. That is good.
Why was Jimmy so cool?
I don't know.
He was just so cool.
He just was. He was
No, it is something you don't know. And a lot of this happens with like parents and new people. They'll come and and we're the worst business people ever. They'll be like, this guitar is terrible. It won't work for my kid. We just bought it on Amazon. I was like, let me take a look at it. I'm like, yes, this is not a great guitar. I never like to say your guitar sucks. But I'm like, this isn't a great high-end guitar, but maybe we can just tweak it to where it actually functions for now. You don't need to buy a
we do
guitar.
often. Yeah.
And we can usually do that. It's not out of the realm, and it doesn't usually cost anything because it might just be like quick truss rod. We fix you. Sometimes you need a new guitar. If you get one that the tuners don't hold it all entirely, it's like by the time you start putting money into it.
There's I've had a few students especially that like the guitar just didn't work. You know what I mean? And we'd make it work, but it didn't work.
Point to new guitars. If your guitar has covers that go over the tuning pegs, odds are it's not going to work. It's most likely a first act guitar as well. I'm sorry if that's the guitar you bought for your new student. There's a 50-50 chance that guitar will not work more than a week. I've had a lot of problems with those.
Yeah, I had a lot of problems with those too.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky and you get a winner, and you're like, this guitar can last a lifetime.
And it's okay for a while.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But then every once in a while, it's just the way everything's built. It's just tough. But hopefully it helps a little bit.
I think it does. I did notice they have Court guitars in Walmart yesterday. I went in Walmart and I was like, oh look, and a Washburn, I think.
There was a short moment where like during the pandemic disasters when like the guitar manufacturers built too many guitars, they were a lot of the big ones were like in Walmart and Sam's Club and Costco. They're like I've met some of the execs. They're like, yeah, we're totally embarrassed by this. We never thought our brand would be in Costco.
Hey.
We just gotta sell these things. We made too many of them, and the major resellers didn't want them anymore. So, oops.
I mean,
But they got plenty of Michael Kellys over there at Sam Ash. So
I kind of want to see them in like truck stops. Where like you buy those old like rug looking things at Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, dude.
Like you buy the little pullover like rug looking.
If I could get like a Gibson Les Paul,
and a Gibson. Not even have to be a Gibson.
I want a Gibson Les Paul at Buc-ee's
with beavers on it.
Yes.
Well, I like print like it's the Buc-ee's edition.
Buc-ee's has gotten into my feed somehow right now too. So I'm like, oh no, because I do like it's hearing my phone's hearing me talk now.
I had to go to Charleston this week, and I absolutely will be stopping at Buc-ee's.
Yeah, if I like the hot peanuts. They have the not hot, but the honey roasted peanuts.
I'll get you whatever you want.
Bring me back like honey roasted peanuts or cashews, one of the little bags, you know.
No like beaver nuggets or any of those things.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's okay.
I've only been there once. That sounds new to me. Thanks for joining. If you have any more tips, please share them with the folks below too. Just like let the information flow. Let your love, your joy, your
spice,
your zen flow.
Let it flow. It's time. You're getting close.
Getting close. Dune 2's coming out this year. Can't wait. We're gonna maybe double feature.
I think we need.
I could do that.
Yeah,
if they do it. Like, subscribe,
hit the bell.
Thanks for joining us. Peace be with you.